Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, I wanted to talk about spiritual awareness and how that can translate into your life, and what you can start to focus on will create your reality. This has a lot to do with my current path that I'm on. I have slowly upgraded each day. I'm slowly tuning into a new awareness that is key to understanding who we are, what our path is here, what our purpose is on the planet, and how we can all slowly become more conscious beings to help one another live better lives. Um, so, today, the first thing I wanted to touch on is your awareness and what that means for your life. Also, because I've been on a path of helping people that are abusing drugs and alcohol, how that can help them as well. Kind of like a combination of the two, because awareness truly is your essence. We all have this that runs nonstop all day long. From the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep, it just keeps running. And what you want to really think about when it comes to awareness is how you can start to calm your mind and understand that is just your thoughts are just coming and going like clouds. They don't mean anything. You can shift them whenever you'd like. What I really like to try and think about is to stop them, or you're never going to stop them fully, but the way to start to transform them, transmute them, and move them into maybe a more aligned path for you is start to come up either one with some sort of mantra, because what that mantra will do is it will stop the pattern of thinking. Most people don't even realize they have a pattern of thinking. And what happens with that is every 17 seconds, proven in science, 17, 20 seconds, right around there, if you consistently think of a thought, it will go to the next similar thought. So if they're going to be negative thoughts or worrying thoughts or angry thoughts, you're going to continue to spiral down that staircase, and it will lead to another and then another and then another. So, two ways that I truly found helped me in the beginning, and now I don't have to use them as much, which is great, is one, come up with some sort of mantra. So the reason that the mantra helps is if your mind is running and you can't stop it, which is fair, most people can't. You never really truly will stop your mind. You can just learn to control it and to let them pass by more and more often, and notice that they don't have to be your reality anymore. But the mantra, what it'll do is it'll put a break in the pattern of thought. So rather than it just continuing to spiral, if you just come in with something like, and I've taught this to a lot of people now, especially people in drug and alcohol abuse, we have this problem of thinking the worst of everything and thinking that everything's life is happening to me, not for me, because life is happening for you. You're getting lessons all the time. But what you can do is the first thing is the mantra. And what I try and teach a lot of people are when you notice it, start, and it's just, oh, nonstop spiral, nonstop. Okay, stop. Everything is working out to my highest good. Everything is working out to my highest good. And I don't care if you say it once or if you say it 40 times straight, because what you're starting to do is you are becoming aware that you are thinking. Most of the time, we're not even aware that we're thinking, we're just going. And when you start to tune into a new awareness, you can start to create new patterns of thought that aren't so negative or so down. And you're also able to start seeing these patterns. For instance, for me, I know in the morning, right when I wake up, if I don't do some sort of meditation or exercise because of my old patterns of working right away, getting right into the office and getting right into finance, doing these things, I was miserable in the morning, which then led, I would have to do a lot of different things, coffee, Adderall, whatever it was, to get to a place of like, okay, I'm good for a while now. And then I would need to get to the gym and do these other things just to get out of my own head. But what the awareness is you are now creating a space in your subconscious of, I am aware that I am having these thoughts. And you will start to see, maybe in the beginning, very little progress. But you will start to then notice, okay, I'm more aware of these thoughts. I'm more aware of these thoughts. And then you're creating a bigger and bigger and bigger break between them, which is releasing that pattern, because the pattern has never been truly, you've never been truly aware of it. So you don't know exactly that it's even going on. And now that you can do that, what you'll start to notice is you can substitute the mantra for maybe something that you are passionate about, or something that you want to accomplish, or a goal, or whatever it may be, because then your thoughts are going from this negativity or worry or doubt or anger or guilt or shame. Now you are starting to focus more on the goodness of life and how it is helping you and how it is teaching you lessons for growth. So that's the first thing, creating an awareness. Because again, the big thing for all of us is we're not even aware that we're thinking. It just goes on and on and on and on. And that's what a lot of distractions are doing, like TV or your cell phone or social media, or getting in conversations with people just to stop the thinking patterns. It's because there are so many distractions out there, you don't even notice that you're having these thoughts. And trust me on this, and you can look at this in all of any kind of yogi, any kind of person that you can find in the spiritual world that is starting to transform their life. The more you focus on the reality you want to create, the more you can surrender to the flow of the universe and finding a passion and finding a love for things and love for others. Because it's not that difficult to start a process, it's difficult to be consistent. When you are consistent, you will change your life. So that's the first thing, doing some sort of mantra. The other thing you can do is, when the second part for the awareness aspect of this is that your awareness to these thoughts is now going to give you a leg up on creating this new reality. And the way I like to look at like how your reality, what the way you think and the way you act towards others and the way you present yourself to the world, the awareness that comes from creating these new patterns are, I always like to think about, when you have these thoughts going on, starting to ask yourself deeper questions. And what I mean by that is, if I'm having this conversation, who's listening to this the whole time? What is it that is listening to this going on? And what I've come to know through meditation, through prayer, through my angel experience, that I have had these energy upgrades, and now I'm starting to learn about universal energy, is that your higher power is listening to every single thing you say and is trying to give you, and because it unconditionally loves you, and I don't know what that is. To you, it's whatever it is. I will not tell you it's, you can call it God, the universe, you can call it your higher power, whatever you want. It is listening to you. And what I've come to know from this experience is it unconditionally loves you. So the more that you say, I am not worthy, I am not deserving, I am not blah, 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 whatever the negative one is, it will unconditionally give you those situations. Okay, if that's what you want, here it is. I unconditionally love you. I will give you this support. But if you start to create an awareness, okay, always listening, there's no judgment in it. It has no judgment whatsoever. It just loves you. And if you start to look at different things going on in terms of life is happening for me, not to me, and the universe is giving me things to present as life lessons and growth lessons, I can now create the reality I want to create by thinking new thoughts, by being this version of myself I always know I can be. Because a version of you exists right now that is so much greater than anything that you can even comprehend. Because every day I wake up and I am a better version of myself today than I was yesterday, than I was a week ago, than I was a month ago. But at that time, that was my absolute best version of me. So every day that you continue to look at life happening for you, and that the awareness you're creating of your thoughts and changing those patterns, you are now being presented with different events, different people, different places that are now aligning more with what you are creating in your reality. And the way I like to think about it, especially now that I have this universal energy that is always revolving around and is been with me now for a little over a year and a half, is, and you'll all know this, every single one of you that watch this will know this. People will lie to you, places will lie to you, events will lie to you. All the world has a lot of distractions and lies, but there is one thing that will never lie, and that is energy. Energy tells you the truth in every situation. When have you ever seen someone speak and let's just say they're up on a stage and they have all this great energy, they're vibing with people, and there's no way you'll ever look at them and go, nah, that person's got no energy. It's because energy does not lie. And the more that you tune into the energy of the universe, the energy of your higher power, the more of a the more opportunities are presented to you to align with the reality you want to create. And the way I like to think about it is you are like a radio antenna. There is a frequency coming off of you at all times that is tuning into the real you. And as you tune into that frequency, meaning stop this running so much, stop believing everything you tell yourself because you've never really been in control, and you surrender more and you find more of what aligns with your passion and your love, what you will start to notice is the universe in every aspect of your life is sending you signs. Now, this happens all the time for me now. It never happened before. Every once in a while, the way I can describe it now to you, if you don't see them yet, is like how many times you have seen something where you're like, oh, I was just thinking that. Or you are thinking about a person and you directly run into them, or they call you on the phone. Or you're thinking of something you got going on and the TV or a person walking by says something exactly that you needed to hear. Those are not coincidences. And ever since I started to calm myself, ever since I started to be more aware and open and receptive to these things, they happen all the time throughout the day. They are everywhere. And I'm starting to now know that the universe is saying, hey, Josh, you're on the right path. Here's some more information for you. Because your higher power will only give you what you are able to handle at that point. It never is going to overload you with too much because it doesn't want you to fail. It is all about growth, spiritual growth, and becoming the best version of yourself. And what I will say for the tuning into the frequency is this is just starting to find what energy brings you to whatever area that you are most happy to be in or most calm or peaceful to be in. Because happiness is yes, happiness is a thing, but it is not sustainable. Sadness is a thing. It is not sustainable. They are all just happening. And when you start to just learn what really comes from the awareness and the new thought process is peace and calm, then you start to notice that is the way you want to live your life. There is no such thing as sustained happiness forever. It's not going to happen. There's no such thing as sustained sadness forever because you will have moments. But when you sit with them, when you feel them, when you let them pass by, and you start to look at your life as in, okay, these things happen. I'm going to keep myself balanced and tune into a new frequency. You will start to notice the universe will send you signs all over the place. It's hard to fully comprehend it until you get more in tune with it, but it has always been there. And the crazy part is I never noticed it, but I always used to see like, oh, how did I get out of this situation? Oh, because something directly got involved in my life to say, here's some help. Here's where you need to go. And you'll find more and more of that. The last thing I want to leave you with here is as you continue to plant these new things in your subconscious, I like to say it like this: your mind doesn't know what it doesn't know. So whatever you're thinking now is all it can think of. But when you start to change the pattern of the thoughts and you bring in new things, your mind will only focus on what you're starting to tell it. And what I mean by that is, I have one recommendation for you, which I'll go over after this, but this is how your mind creates a reality. Okay. And I heard this and it was a great way to put it. Let's say that I am driving through a town and I have whoever is watching this, you are in my passenger seat. Okay. We're driving through this town together. All I hear in my car is rattling noises. All right. All you can think of is how hungry you are. So now me and you are going through the exact same town at the exact same time in the exact same car. Alls I'm seeing is gas station, tire repair, car shop. You're now hungry on the other side. All you're seeing is food store, fast food, Subway, whatever it may be. Me and you have just went through the same exact town and had a completely different experience of what that town has to offer and what that town even is, because what you tune your frequency or your radio antenna into, your mind picks up on it as much as it can. And what you start to tell it this new story, it will find ways to prove it right. And you are creating a reality for yourself. It is not easy. And it is something you can do slowly over time. But continue to focus on the better thoughts, the awareness, creating a new reality for yourself, and watch new opportunities, places, events, things come to you that will change your life forever. And you will notice that all of us have a path to follow or a soul path, something that gives you the version of yourself that you want to be, that will give you that happiness, that will give you that peace, that calm, because things will always come up in your life. But the more you have equanimity and the more balance you have in your life, the more you will notice that the universe is happening for you, not to you. So as you continue these different practices, the one other thing I wanted to mention was journaling. After this video, I don't care what you do. When you are at your highest moment, I want you to journal something that just says every single scenario in your life, the best thing that could possibly happen. I am going to be the best parent ever. I am going to be the best, daughter ever. I am going to be the best employee I can be. I am going to eat the healthiest I've ever eaten. I am going to help more people than anyone else has ever helped. I don't care what it is. Write the best case scenario as much as you can in a journal so your mind is aware that you have these moments. Okay. Now, the other thing I want you to do is when you are maybe not feeling as great, look at the other side of it, go back to your journal and write, I am aware that I get to this state. I am aware of whatever it may be you want to put. So you're aware that, hey, life doesn't have to be this huge roller coaster of events. What'll start to happen is you'll notice, hey, I've been here before. This isn't bad. I know it's not great, but I'm aware I'm here because I'll go back up. And then it becomes more of a balancing game rather than it be this and having these high lows or low lows and high highs. It becomes more of a balance game of, all right, well, this isn't so bad. And your life becomes easier because you learn that you are being almost tested, but so that you can continue to grow. So try that journaling practice for yourself. It will help, especially on the upside, because your brain, you'll start to plant things in your subconscious of, I didn't even think of how good that could be. That's true. I didn't even think of this, because your brain needs to start thinking of these things so that you can start to prove yourself right, because you always know the answer. Your intuition is your internal GPS. It is always right. Learn to trust it. Learn to be guided by it. It is your higher power sending you energy saying, you know this, just follow this. You can't see your full path right now. I can. But if you follow this, things will be great. All right, everybody. Thank you for your time today. Hit me up with some comments here if you have questions about awareness, if you have questions about energy work or energy healing. That is my current That is currently what I'm doing, is helping others heal energetically. And also, if you have any questions about other practices that may help your awareness or need help with that, let me know in the comments here, and I'd be more than happy to help. Love ya. Take care, everyone.